Okay, I'm gonna look at the tripod and the good camera out here. Get all these, after I get all these shorts up, but trying to feed the wire. This is my fish tape, which is a good nylon one. I've broken it 3 or 4 times and just keep adding a new end to it, but whatever. Cutting some holes out, feeding it through, using the needle nose to shove it in there. Got it over here, and I cut one box out, and it actually fit pretty good. It's just enough room in there to get it in there tight, and I'll figure out how to mount it. Drilling screws through here, bolts or something. I'll get through it because I'm gonna have coffee and 110 stuff on top of the shelf that goes when I'm not using the shower or the toilet. Here's the sink. I think I showed that yesterday here. So 110's right there. Maybe a crock pot. Maybe, my solar does really well. I'll have the oven stashed and bake some bread. Who knows what I'll do? But that'll all be, the whole idea about making it more, starting with less, or making it less to have more, something like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to do some time-lapse stuff as I see the other guys on YouTube do with all their stuff. But we'll see. But here we go. This is going to be it. But I'm going to hook up a 110 plug today on this side, and I'm going to have another one over here probably for this state. This is coming up. This is going to be like prep, slide out freezer, cooking, table, eating, work area, crashing out. Losing stuff all the time, so I threw up an old box that's been sitting around the yard for like ages. So hopefully I don't lose the stuff that I'm always losing. You're gonna need a lot of screws. This is just, I bought some more today. So all the different size screws that you end up using. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. And lots of brackets. Heavy duty, light duty, everything duty. But for me, like I say, I'm making it so if I want to take it apart, it's coming apart easy. Not everything. This panel's glued and solid, and so is this panel. But I think I got plenty of room underneath here now for a hot water heater, plumbing for the sink, the water pump. There's more room than I thought. I've been living in a tiny house for 3 years now, so I'm used to small areas, and I like the small area thing, but this is growing on me as it's getting smaller. Does that make any sense? Kinda. But I'm already thinking about the doors, making doors, pockets for outside tools. Gonna try maybe the 2-inch insulation. I don't know. Cut out that whole panel, make it a big old thing. But anyway, I don't know. We're working on it. But anyway, I'm gonna get this 110 in so I can plug in tools as I'm working, and lights. Right there, get used to it. And then hook it up to my inverter charger when I get that. I think I'm waiting for, here's the tools you're gonna need. Look at that. I bought 12-volt stuff to take on the road with me, and I got 20-volt stuff that I like to walt. Jigsaw, all that stuff, all crazy stuff. Anyway, lost my train of thought, but more later. So here we go. We got it through 20 minutes of holding it, feeling it through like this. Oh man, it was crazy. Holding it up so it didn't curl. But what was happening is this end was flexing and stopping it like that. So I had to straighten it out when I could. I don't know, I'm gonna think on this, make a different end, I think, right now. I'm gonna think on that. I don't know if I got any more of those aluminum furls or not. But we'll see. We're gonna pull the wire here in a second. I'm gonna make it bulletproof. Okay, bye. More later. So here we go. The first or the 10th mistake I'm going to try to fix. I don't like the way it was too close. I'm always thinking about walking room, but there'll be plenty. So I'm going to cut the other one, put it in, think it out a little bit better, and try and work on this whole wall now. And I think I got the ceiling figured out, getting it laid out with lines, and they can measure. So I get the fan in. We're taking off weekend after Thanksgiving to go to get the solar stuff. My health is good now, or at least my knee is repairing itself with the metal and the plastic in it. So getting excited again. So anyway, we'll put her back in and give another little shorty here, and then get all this work area done. I keep adding stuff, and I don't know, you'll run out of room fast, but the more things that you can have for double duty, the better. But we'll see. Downsizing is not easy. So here's the new rough in. This will tie it over just to square everything up. But I'm glad I'm using these in a lot of places. It's much lighter than wood, and plus I can take it on again, off again. And now we are doing the pattern. Tuck it there. Tuck it there. Take a measurement. Go cut it. Let's see how good it is. More later. Okay, here's some more little stuff. I decided to bring out this little bench and make a little hidden cubby in there underneath the cushion to go out. Love this metal for ledger. It's lighter than wood. Everything can come apart, because that's my goal, is to make everything that I can hopefully take it apart if I have to, because there will be more changes, I know that. But hopefully none of that. So that's my goal, is to get that and this top and get ready to do that. Got the ledger in for the bed. I had found that as a free queen or full bed frame. It was made out of all that in Hollywood at a job. It was had a free sign on it, so I threw it in, and I'm going to use some of that wood. It's nice Doug fir. I mean, this is it's expensive to build a van, and I'm going to talk about that too. It's nothing cheap. What else we got going on here? Just a big mess. But I'm liking this, how it's coming out. I'll figure out, maybe I'll clip this corner. Maybe I'll do a little crazy edge. Get the stove out far enough now. A little shelf behind it for, spices or something that's, gotta make it a little bit homey. What did I do here? This is where the toilet's gonna go, and then I'm gonna make a bracket, another shelf to go on top of that to have more storage. And then of course the top's going to go with that, and that's going to be coffee area, the door face. So the shower and the toilet is hidden till you want to use it. Will it be a little bit of a hassle to make? Well, yeah, but that's just the way it goes. Everything's got to have double or triple duty. What a mess I got going on. Oh, here's my little to hold up the boards that I'm going to put across for nailing of the ceiling and put in there. They are painter's pole things to make a plastic enclosure, so you can't, you could isolate an area. Kind of cool. Zip wall. That's what they're called. Zip wall. I remember now. But anyway, just all sorts of stuff that I have laying around I'm going to try to use. Like I say, a lot of used material, but The way things is now, do what you can, use what you can, but what have I got myself into? Bye for now. More later. Okay, here's the morning mess. And here we are. We're going to try to finish this section over here, all the way across. That's my goal. And I ran out of wood on the stuff that I salvaged from the tear out of the van originally, but I'm just going to piece it together. Like I say, this flap, I'll just put a two-door flap because I got the wood and section that off for something special. Don't know how I'm going to quite finish this here, this face for a concealed area, also for maybe some of my electric lines coming over or whatnot. Just a place to have stuff. But yeah, I'm going to figure that out and have get that done and get this top in over here. At least that's what I'm going to do. I'll have some of those me doing stuff videos more, but I'm just trying to get organized for the channel as of yet. So when all these come up, they'll kind of be linked together. What do I got going up here? It's a bunch of weird stuff. Tools everywhere. I do make a mess, but it's fun. More later. Bye for now. All right, here's a good example of putting things together so you can take them apart. So I got my little bracket there, and I needed to add, this piece 6 inches to what I originally had, because I was all worried about walking space, but it's all about counter space. It's all about counter space and doing it. So I cut the piece, used my Craig pocket jig, which I'll know about, clamps in right, so you just put boards on to hold them together and do it all that. Now I got it out, but now my little metal ledger is too short, so I cut another one, and all I gotta do is pop it off, put the new one in. So that's me building things so I can take them apart and do them again. More later. Okay, so we're gonna get into the garage. I went and bought the solar stuff in Reno from Inverters R Us. Great people. They hooked it up with my Victron 2000, set it to lithium, showed me a few things, made sure I have anything. They distributed to a lot of installers. It was a great experience. Driving up there was, I think, well worth it. Plus, I was able to get everything that I wanted from the same company, and I've just heard good things about their customer service, and we're going to check it out, because now I am at the garage, and I am going to skivvy it up, take the divider out right now, paint it up, figure all this out to get the system in. Bought a Hero, a GoPro, and we're going to start recording with that later today. If I can find all the pieces that I bought for it, the microphone, the light, that little thing, but bought that for myself for Black Friday. Hopefully it'll work out good. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and clean this up and get it painted, and then hopefully switch to the GoPro. I think it'll be better. This is my 13 Max, which is good, but I don't want a phone to be a phone. And I don't want to always set up my R-series cameras from Canon to do video. Even though I got the Ninja thing and I can record for hours, it's just a lot of heavy work. And I thought I was going that way, but I'm not. But I'm just blabbling. Blabbling? Anyway, more later. So I'm hoping this is the last of the iPhone and go to the GoPro, but I just can't see it. So, figuring out the rack for the solar panels. So I was able to buy these stanchions at the local metal fab shop, already welded with plates on them, instead of me making them and have my son weld them. And they were 30 inches tall. Right, 30 inches tall. But I just cut them off, and I'll cut them again when I get my height that I want, how far I want my panels. Figured out that's the length of my panels, that drywall square, that kind of a cool one because it goes to a T-square or an angle square. They're nice, and they're easier to store. They don't get bent, and they're thicker metal, so they work good. So that's kind of exactly where the panels are going to go. And so what I do is I will use the proper bit to find center. Also, I used this 3/4 inch off this indentation so everything's equal on the bill. But yeah, I'll do that. And then I'll just barely start it to get centers. I did the first ones, 2-bolted them, tighten them up so it wouldn't walk around on me. I just like things all in the middle, and then they don't move around too much. So I'll do this, get all the centers marked, and then I'll pull the stanchions and clean off the top and paint the bottoms and paint a little bit. I gotta cut them again, but I'll paint a couple inches up, prime them all black, come back up, use some die-core and put them all in there, or get them all cut first and do the die-core at the end, probably smarter. And then I'll do my cross members. And we'll get to that a little bit later, but so far, this is gonna work out. I wanted aluminum, but there's no prefab weld, and you know, you gotta just go where you want. Plus, I'm on a budget here now. After I show you all the solar stuff I got, that took me for a ride. But anyway, here we go. More later. Okay, we're going back to the iPhone for a while. I've got a YouTube channel telling me about all the GoPro settings. I'll work on that later. But right now, before I do this, I decided to cut a little access panels underneath the bed. And what I do, it's to make nice straight lines, is I'll screw down a guide the distance of the blade from the edge of the shoe. Here, I'll get it right now. So from the blade to the shoe, so when you cut, it'll go right. You plunge cut and go right on your line. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that fixed when I do the other side, so we can do the whole process in the fast mode like everybody does on YouTube. But like I say, this is a learning process and a whole bunch of stuff for me, except for carpenter, been one of my whole life, builder, general contractor, project manager, all this stuff. Had a fulfilling life in my job. I mean, it filled a lot of voids for me for many years, but now I'm kind of moving on. It's retirement, Medicare, holy Toledo, Social Security. Yeah, big deal. Anyway, more later. So here we go, we're back with the iPhone, but I did go on a YouTube video and found out about the GoPro. That's gonna be tonight's chore, I'm hoping. But so this is what I did. This was like this. You can see the bolts were coming through and they screwed it down there. And I believe that was only to get the seal, because I took it all off, both sides. And then over here, I cut and hammered down because I can put some wood cap on there, and I like that, and it's tight. But now I discovered that this 1/2-inch plywood that was on the top could go right in here, and then I can get this flex out of here, because I don't have the metal that bends over like over here. And this was about an hour putting and doing, and now I just may cut all this off and do the same thing, because I had a couple of funkies over here where it wouldn't bend. And I believe, like I said earlier, you're going to be doing stuff twice. And, you know, better ideas come as you fiddle around. Talked about that dang awning. That's a whole another catastrophe. That said okay. I'll put some epoxy around that when I do the other rails to lock that in. I may have to move this bracket up here. Hope not, but might. And this came out good for the rack. Just get those cut off eventually. Yeah, doing too much, but this I think is gonna look right. I'm gonna pound it in there and give you another little shot at it. More later.